I was making a video a second ago, but the camera cut off, or I clicked the button or something. Anyway, I was talking about the whole, what do they call that? A lot of people, semen retention. But see, here's the thing. A lot of people think it's just straight up semen retention. It's like that might have an effect, like, on your nutrients. I don't know, like, you know, you might retain nutrients. But I think what people are aiming for with that is something a little bit more complex. What I think, and this is like my theory, I'm not a fucking doctor, I'm not gonna, you know, try anything I say at your own risk. You know, I'm not a doctor. Consult with your local physician or whatever, licensed physician, before attempting anything I say. With a professional, all that good stuff. Anyway, I think there's what I call like synchronous energy. You know, like, if, you know, honestly, really, I mean, I'm a guy. I'll explain how guys go if a female don't know. But like, guys, if they don't, you know, relieve themselves after a while, you know, it builds up, and it's like, all right, like, men want to, you know, I don't know, breed, you know, spread their seed, whatever, and then you have like a strong, I don't know, it might like take over, kind of. I'm not gonna, depends, you know, people are different, but you have a strong energy and a strong desire to do that, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of guys, you know, they just go, you know, do it by themselves sometimes, just to relieve that type of you know, whatever, the burning desire, if you want to call it that. And but then that like knocks your energy back down. But if, on the other hand, you are like pursuing a woman, you know, and you're doing all this stuff, and how should I say it? There's synchronous energy that builds right there. Like with women, you know, you're trying to do what you do, you're trying to please her, you're trying to get on the good side, so, you know, you can eventually, you know, get laid probably. And you know, really, even just with the act of sex, it's, you know, if you're, you know, no, I'm a type of guy, you know, I like to pleasure women. It is, you know, I like to see that. I like to feel it. It's positive energy. And so that right there in itself is like a type of synchronous sexual energy. And I mean, that's really just part of the like literal like reproduction process. I think there's a lot to it. I think like science could study that. I think like the more synchronized people are, probably like the better reception that, you know, a woman will have to a guy. There might, like, you know, there's so many sperm cells that, you know, are ejaculated, you know, into a woman, you know, during reproduction. It's like maybe like the energies like have some role in guiding, you know, one sperm over another, or like selectively allowing, you know, one sperm or another to penetrate the egg wall, you know. Like, there could be a lot of stuff going on with that, but I think the synchronous energy plays a major role. But the thing is, that energy is like vitality. It leads to you. It's synchronized energy, and it's like it's you know, like two people as opposed to one, and it's strong. It's a strong energy, and that, you know, I'm just saying, if you go the full, here's the point with the semen retention thing, is if you go the full way, and, you know, even if you're trying to reproduce, I mean, yeah, of course, you know, people got to reproduce, blah, 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 but if you don't do that, if you just, like, you know, build synchronous energy with women, okay, I'm not saying with women, if you're a female, maybe the same stuff, I don't know, but you build that synchronous sexual energy, it's very strong energy, and if you don't go the full way, you know, because when you go the full way, you kind of lose interest. Guys, you know, they'll be asleep in like 5 minutes, like, you know what I'm saying, like after, you know. But if you don't go that full way, and you kind of keep that high energy, you know, you keep that vitality, you know, it's a thing. I mean, that, what is it, they call it like ancient Egyptians talked about it. It's like the sexual, the transmutation of sexual energy. Some people say that little like cross, the Ankh, has something to do with that. You take your sexual energy, and then you like kind of like, you just retain it basically. You kind of You know, you don't just relieve yourself and it's gone. It's smart stuff. Like, that's really what it is. You know, semen retention in itself is one thing. But that's just like generic. It's not really what's going on. It's that's, you know, it really is just generic. It's like you retain semen, but it's like if you don't build that sexual, I mean, well, you could, I mean, maybe, you know, if you're by yourself or whatever, you know, you can just have a high sexual energy. Like I said, you have a burning desire or whatnot. If you can control yourself, it's just like you know, built energy that you can redirect or whatnot. But I really think, like, you know, if you can build, I mean, that's just for me personally. It's just something I've noticed. Like, really, if I just literally, you know, I guess don't relieve myself for like a while, like, yeah, that energy's built, and women take notice, dude. It's like they can like tell, like, you have that burning desire. It's not just desire though. I feel like it's like literally like a biological state. Like, I think there's energy involved. I think it might even be just like they know you're like fully loaded, you know what I'm saying? And I can see differences. I can see different responses from women, stuff like that. And like, it's very, I don't know, I guess maybe if you know, other people have talked about this stuff and have tried it and stuff, and you might, you know, be able to vouch for that. But so I think, you know, if you do it in a solitary way, then yeah, it might still have some type of effect. But even then, if a woman's attracted to you and she's looking at you, and like, I mean, that even there right there is synchronous energy. It is. I mean, I'll just be honest. For me personally, I like, you know, what's the term they use these days? Edging. You know, I think the old like yogis of India, they called it like tantra. You know what I mean? So basically, that you build a synchronous energy, like sexual energy, with a woman, or I don't know, whatever, a partner. I don't know what you want to call it, but just don't relieve that. You know, if you build that energy to a high level, you can then use it, and then you're like, it's really like a powerful energy. It's the energy that, you know, we use to create life, to like condition each other, basically. Like I said, you know, if you're a guy, I think the energies play a large part in you know, conditioning a woman to be more receptive to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a strong energy, and it can be used. That's the whole idea of like the sexual or transmutation of like sexual energy. I mean, that goes into like freaking ancient Egyptian stuff, alchemy, you know, a lot of like occult teachings, esoteric stuff. That all comes from the same stuff. It's like this. Those people are really telling you how your own like biological hardware works, you know, with energy and everything. I mean, that's like, to not understand that, I feel like is makes you a crude human. You're like too, you know, if you just like, oh yeah, like some animal, just, oh, sex feels good and ugh-like, you know, like, if you're just thinking it's physical, then you're not really getting it. But yeah, if you understand the energies involved, and then you understand, see, my whole point here was, a lot of people talk about just semen retention. It's like, that's just a crude physical thing, you know what I mean? There's a lot more to it. It's really like building energy. I mean, you probably, like I said, could maybe do it in a independent way, I don't know, but like I said, even if a woman's just looking at you, it's building an energy. Here's the thing too, I'll be honest, like, guys, they're kind of dumb sometimes. They'll be just relieving themselves all day and they don't build any energy. So one, they're not getting women looking at them, but then they'll like lust over women, and they're literally sending their energy to women. And then these women are like the controllers of that energy, because you're like, you're sending her your conscious energy. And it's like, you're a slave to, you know, these women. They'll suck it up, these women. So, and you know, honestly, I think it's conditioned a lot of women to be like energy vampires, kind of. And I mean, what else would they do? You know, if people are just gonna, you know, a bunch of stupid, horny guys are just gonna, you know, do that all day, you know, send them their energy anyway, I guess you might as well, you know what I mean? You might as well just like own it and redirect it, use it, or whatever. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. So if you're a guy, I do suggest that you at least, you know, do some semen retention, at least like occasionally. Kind of like, you know, it's good for you to like fast every so often. You just eat 24/7. That shit is not it's not healthy. You know, like you get fat, and it's just not, you know, you fast every so often, it kind of helps cleanse your body. Same thing with semen retention. It will build energy. Well, this is my view on it. Like I said, I'm not a freaking health professional or whatnot, but man, I'll be honest. Even in the state I'm in right now, look, I hate to say it, people just like I feel like people feel my energy, and then they just like kind of wander up. They're curious. And they start like lingering around me and stuff. Like I make videos about this. Like I'll like be somewhere by myself, and people just kind of, it's like almost like they're like flies or something. They're attracted to this energy. It's like a magnetic thing, and it really is. It's like, especially like, I don't know, if you're a guy and you're having trouble with women, I do suggest probably, you know, doing some semen retention at least, and building that energy up. And girls might start to notice. They could just like sense that shit. It's an energy, and that's the thing. If you're just on some crude stuff, you think everything's just physical. It's like you're like spiritually blind. You know what I mean? You have to be able to see this stuff, or you're a crude, dumb brute. You know, a dumb animal almost. You know. So yeah, you know, I guess this is for those people that, you know, have trouble with women, stuff like that. You know, if you're just out here, just, you know, I mean, I'm just gonna be blunt. You're fucking jacking off every day. You're not building any energy, you know, sexual energy, vital energy. You know, there's words for that. I don't know. You can go read your esoteric literature. There's different terms people use, but or have used in the past and stuff. But yeah, if you're just relieving yourself over and over, you're not building any energy. You're just flat. It's like having a tire in your car. It's just flat. You have to build it, and it's really almost like that. You can almost like feel it, like when it builds and it reaches a point of like, okay, pressurized. Like now the tire has, you know, like taking form almost. You know how like when you're pumping up a tire or something, and it's like pumping, and all of a sudden it just like pops out, like, and then it has like a rigid form. It's like that's almost like how you have to establish yourself as a guy. Like guys have energies, they have signatures, you know what I mean? And if you are just like, you know, just flatten yourself every day, you're just like a big mess, you know. It's gross. But if you let that energy build, you know what I'm saying, and it builds to a point that it, you know, what's the word for it? It inflates, but like expounds a form, you know what I mean? Then you then have that. like that's really like what guys need to even like have form. And I mean, it's just so sad today that we have all this like porn on the internet and stuff like that, and guys will just, you know, all day just fucking deflate them. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll just fucking, it's sad, you know. And I think it's really taken away from a lot of people. But like really, just, it's not just semen retention. That's the whole point of this whole video. It's not just semen retention. There's more to it. I guess I'm trying to describe the nuances here. But yeah, you know, you retain. You don't just flatten yourself. You don't keep relieving yourself. You have to allow that pressure to you know, the tire to inflate. You know, that energy to build, the pressure to build. You might even say it really is almost like a pressure. It's like you can like feel the energy. Like it's like filling you up, and then like at some point, it really does reach, like, you could tell when you're like on full. I say that. I say like I'm like topped out. You know what I mean? I can feel it, and you might be tempted at that point, especially if you're a dumb, like brute, like I said, who's just been like, you know, constantly relieving yourself or whatever. You might be tempted to, you might feel like, oh, I'm so horny or whatever, and just try to freaking, you know, relieve that, like deflate yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you'll feel tempted to deflate yourself. Like that's not a healthy thing. That's not a good thing. If you're just like, just doing it. People talk about stuff like, you know, blue balls. Oh yeah, you can't freaking hold it in forever. You really can't. You know, animals really do it like all year until they freaking find a mate, like during mating season, you know. It's retaining your vital energy. It really is. You know, I already discussed, you know, how what I'm talking about, like synchronous energy and stuff. But and people out here just deflating themselves every day. That's just not healthy, dude. It's just not. So yeah, when that pressure builds, like I say, you're like topped out, whatever. You know, that you gotta be, you have to have the self-discipline, willpower, whatever, to deflate yourself. You know what I mean? If you can maintain that, that's a powerful energy that you can use in life. Really, I remember there's the book Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill. Like, it's one of the most like known books in like, you know, I don't know, like business world, whatever. But it even says, I think the second chapter is like, the first chapter is something about like, you know, finding a partner to create a mastermind group where you can bounce ideas off each other and keep each other motivated. The second one is about like using, you know, having like sexual energy to use almost in like a law of attraction type way to like manifest, you know, to help like move people and things, you know, to condition people. That's the same thing. When you're in a relationship with a woman, that's what you're doing. You are literally, you know, if you're literally having sex with a woman, you're trying to make a baby, there's energies involved. You are like feeling that woman out and stuff. And, you know, if you're trying to, I don't know, especially if you're trying to like pleasure a woman. And I think that's part of the reproductive process. Like I said, I feel like it might make a woman more receptive. But what you're doing is you're conditioning that woman to be more receptive to your seed. I mean, that same sexual energy that you use to do that for a woman, to a woman, can be used in life, like as a you know, a transformative energy. It really can. I mean, it's the same thing. It's your vital energy. You know, people talk about law of attraction and stuff like that all day. It's relevant. It's relevant. And I'll be honest, like, yeah, in the past I felt stupid. I would just sometimes just not have the discipline and not retain that energy, and then yeah, I'm flattened, and then it's like it's harder to move things in this world. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like on a like metaphysical, whatever you want to call it, type level. And I think I just realized it like recently. I'm just like, yeah, like I've been kind of careless, reckless. I mean, that shit's important. It really helps you move mountains, you might say, you know, like that's the type of stuff Jesus talked about with like faith. Even right here, some girl just looking at me right now. They're just like, you can tell, I'm getting more attention right now, so it is what it is. But is she honking at me, trying to say she liked me or something? Is that what you're trying to say? Okay, I'm cool with that. I don't know if that's what it was, but either way, I get enough of that. Here, put it this way, I get enough of that my default thinking is maybe that girl likes me. Because for real, that's what happens when you kind of have the discipline to, you know, build and maintain that type of energy, you know, instead of flattening yourself, you know. Yeah, so this is important stuff. I mean, my whole point, I mean, I just made a lot of points, but I guess the initial point that I was trying to make was that, you know, it's more than just semen retention, but it's really like, it's important in life, man. It's to help, it's like your superpower. Like that's the power of consciousness in this world. You know, you got quantum physicists talking about this stuff, law of attraction, blah blah blah. Like that is your power to like be able to, you know, it's like it's conscious energy in the universe. That's the what governs change in the universe, you know. If you're flattening yourself and you don't even have energy, how are you gonna move anything? You know what I mean? You're stuck. You'll be stuck in a rut. You keep fucking, you know, you keep jacking off, you know, as a guy. I mean, women, it might be similar for women. I don't really know. Like, really, like I don't know. I mean, I've seen women, you know, after, you know, I guess climaxing, sometimes they, you know, it depends. I don't think they get drained as much as guys do, but, you know, then sometimes they might just want to chill, you know, and it's just, it relieves some of that energy maybe in the same way. I mean, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a woman, but whatever. But yeah, it seems that way at least. So maybe this is relevant to women too. But yeah, energy is important, man. If you're just like out here just flattening yourself, like I said, it's like, how are you going to do anything? If you don't have that pressurized energy that gives you rigid form and all that good stuff, like, how are you going to do anything? It's like trying to squirt a squirt gun that don't have any pressure in it. It's like, it just falls flat, like drizzles out, like, you know, like, okay, you know, we're getting a little bit explicit here with the visuals, but you know what I'm saying? You have to build that energy, have that pressure. I'm telling you, it's like even probably something you can see physically, like, you know, with your member, if you want to call it that, you know. If you hold in, if you build that energy, you know, pressure out, build that pressure, whatever, it shows. And then, but you can use that in a like metaphysical, transformative, I don't know, just law of attraction type way, you know what I mean? And I just think it's important. It's not just semen retention. There's more to it. So I think I hopefully made my point. I've been standing out here a while. I'm pretending like I'm just looking at sunset. No, I'm talking about all types of like metaphysical stuff here, you know. But it's relevant, man. I think a lot of people, you know, throughout history have known that. They've written books about it, like I said, esoteric stuff. All the way back to ancient Egypt and stuff like that, with the anking your energy and using it. You know, it's a transmutation of sexual energy. I mean, I don't know what I'll call this video, but it might be something like that, you know. But I know I talk about this stuff in a casual way, but I've been a student of this stuff for a long time. I mind myself. I think I have a decent level of self-mastery. You know, I watch these things. I look for changes. Like if I'm, you know, doing this type of stuff, I look how people respond and stuff. It's, you know, have a consciousness to see that type of stuff. And I mean, there's so much to it. Like with the esoteric stuff, like if you want to call it that, I don't even like that term, esoteric. I say this is like literally just like how your body and, you know, conscious energy, your spiritual, you know, aspects of self, you know, work in conjunction with the universe. You know, like this is super relevant stuff, dude. It's not like, it's not just like something for like, you know, a few people, the adept or anything. It's like, no, this is like your freaking manual to how to function as a conscious being in the universe, you know, with your body, your, you know, all your vitality, your energy, everything. It's super relevant. I don't think, I mean, I'll be honest, like when I first started learning about this, like a lot of stuff, like I kind of, you know, came to understand things on my own, and then eventually I realized, you know, there's like books written about it. You got the esoteric, occult teaching, stuff that goes, you know, and that made it seem like it was like some dark secret stuff that was only for like the adept or whatever. And I was like, that kind of feels weird, because I felt like I learned a lot of it naturally, and I felt like it was like, you know, this is like relevant stuff, you know, for the world. And eventually, I mean, I don't know, I felt like I didn't want to talk about it with people. Then I felt like I didn't want to teach people, because I thought like, well, maybe it's like, is it evil or something? You know, I know it sounds weird, but you know, that's what like some religions might tell you. But and then I remember I like started thinking about like the Native Americans. Like they had a whole culture where they kind of like talked about spirituality. You know, they said like you can like communicate with Gaia, Mother Earth, and like on like a spiritual, energetic level. They're talking about like transmutation of like energy and stuff. Like this is relevant stuff, spiritual stuff, you know. And so whenever I thought about that, I was like, okay, they had a whole culture of it, and they were just fine, you know, until freaking like Europeans came over with their religion and tried to force it on them, all that stuff. You know, it really ruined what they had going on. But yeah, they seem to be pretty good with that, you know. So I don't think it's anything that, you know, should have been really ever, you know, turned into like a secret thing. I think it was really religious persecution that made people think they had to like talk about it in secret and stuff. It's like, so yeah, I mean, this is like it's like relevant. It's like should be basic knowledge for like everybody, you know. If you don't understand your energetic, you know, properties, you know, that aspect of yourself, those aspects of yourself, then you're really just like it's like you're undeveloped. You're still like a child that doesn't even know how to walk. You know what I'm saying? It's like this stuff is super relevant. So for that reason, I feel like you know, I want to help people understand this type of stuff, help learn. Because I went through like stages of development. Like I said, I kind of came to understand some of the stuff naturally. Yeah, but then you know, I started coming across like literature, old teachings and stuff, and then all that stuff where, as I said, you know, I realized kind of religious persecution that made people kind of talk about it in secret. I mean, back in the day, it was like you'd be called a witch, fucking try to burn you at the stake and shit. Like, damn, bro, like ain't that serious, you know? Like, it's crazy. But yeah, like Native Americans, man, they had it pretty good. They were talking about all the spiritual stuff. I'm sure, I don't know if they had like specific terms they used or anything, but I'm sure you know, they had their third eye open. They were not spiritually blind, you know. And I really feel like that's a problem in our world. Like a lot of people, let's be honest, they seem like they're like crude, like I said, like crude humans, like that are just think it's all about the physical and stuff. It's like, no, there's all these spiritual, energetic aspects of ourselves. It's like it's kind of annoying actually when you're like kind of sensitive enough to like understand this stuff, and then you see so many people just I don't know, just like hurling through life. It's like, dude, like I need to chill. But so yeah, I'm just saying, I think it's super relevant stuff. I think people, you know, I think it's probably, you know, have a positive benefit for the world. I think it's part of like evolution, honestly, like what I call like behavioral evolution. I think it'll, you know, people, it's like a refinement of, you know, how people operate individually, but you know, more so it'll be like on a collective level. You know, I think people I see it too. like a lot of people become more sensitive, but then they become like oversensitive, and they're sensitive in the wrong ways. Like a lot of people are like, oh, you said a bad word. Like, no, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about like being sensitive energetically, not being a crude brute human, you know, and being able to function in like an elegant, like graceful, delightful way, you know, with and having positive energy and being just more like beautiful, you know, in general. So all this stuff, you know, hope you get my point. All this stuff is super relevant. I don't think it should be kept. I don't think it ever should have been kept secret. I think it's stupid that religion tried to, you know, persecute people just for talking about. And really, some people say that, you know, maybe the religious, you know, heads of like, I don't know, the church and stuff, maybe want to keep a lot of this knowledge secret, because there are things that kind of allude to, you know, this type of knowledge, like, you know, even in like the Bible and stuff, you know, talking about faith can move mountains, and like if you have true faith, you can do, you know, all types of stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And Jesus was healing people. This is all relevant. That's the same stuff, like this type of energy, vital energy, law of attraction, stuff like that, you know, it can be used to do stuff like that, heal people. You know, if you can condition a woman, I'm just being honest, I'm not, and a lot of people think stuff's like perverted, and, you know, sex is all kind of sometimes, you know, it's tabooed, and, you know, people are thinking that, and then that, you know, when it's taboo, then people like find different, like weird out, and then they actually start doing weird stuff, you know. So it's like, I don't think people should think about it necessarily like that. But the point is, all this energy and stuff, if you, like I was gonna say, like if you can condition a woman during the act of sex to become more receptive to receiving your seed, you know what I mean? Then that, I'm not gonna say sexual energy necessarily, but your energy in general can be used in a similar way to condition people to do other things, to condition the world, you know, just as like a powerful transformative energy, law of attraction type stuff. It's super relevant, I'm telling you. You know, and that's the thing too, like I said, like Napoleon Hill, he said, like the sexual energy is relevant even in like business relationships. But it's just because it's a powerful energy. If you fall flat, you know what I'm saying, with your energy in general, it'd just be harder to move anything, to move mountains, you know. So I just think your sexual energy is a strong type of energy. Like I said, it's like synchronous energy, stuff like that. And the more you do it, man, I think the better, you know, you can learn about this type of stuff, man. It's I don't know, man. There's a lot of crude people. Honestly, I don't know what people are gonna do. I don't know if anybody's ever gonna change necessarily. So I could be wasting my time right now, even talking about it. But I guess for the people that, you know, have it in them, and, you know, maybe people in future generations, whatever, maybe they'll get it, and, you know, maybe it will be relevant to them or whoever. You know, like I can't really say who necessarily this will help or anything, but hopefully it does. I just want to explain that a little bit. Like I said, I don't think it should be kept secret or be like weird or taboo. I think it's relevant stuff, like your vital energy, how you can use it, like as a conscious being in this universe. You know, it's like, it's relevant stuff. So yeah, man, there's a lot more to it. I'll probably make more videos talking about this stuff later. I think I made enough points right there to give you a general overview of what I think is like relevant. There's a lot to it. I mean, there's so many levels to this shit, like there really is. So, but yeah, hopefully this was a helpful video. Hope you liked it. I'm gonna leave it at that. God bless you. Do well. Do good things. Be nice to each other. That's all I gotta say. God bless you. Peace out.